David. You alright?
Good, thanks.
How's it going? What you been up to? Why are you
Drinking
laughing?
water because you're acting like a fucking twat as usual just before we go on live on air.
It's not live on air.
Well, it is. Because
So, we've been waiting here half hour. I don't know. We're meant to have a guest.
Do you know what I think we should do?
Yeah.
How's your day been?
Yeah, it's been really good.
Is it what you've been up
It's
to?
been really busy. Don't be rude to our guest. We can't.
Well, he's fucking kept us hanging on to half an hour. Look, he ain't got a
know.
fucking leg to stand on, literally.
Look at this little gentleman.
He actually hasn't got any legs either.
Is he not?
No.
Well, why don't you introduce yourself, young man?
Oh yeah, I'm Jevan. Yeah.
Yeah, great story. And you're a chef, aren't you?
Fuck me, is
I'm
that
a
it?
chef, yeah, exactly, yeah. Well, sorry.
Where do you chef?
It's such an open question. My brain's going like,
No, it's all good. What I was thinking of, we had this really, you won't know this, but we had this really weird situation over the last couple of weeks / months where we had people booked in. So it's like Kevin, Jevan,
and Jason,
and matey from Africa.
That's Kevin. Kevin with a C.
Oh, yeah.
C-A-V. C-A-V-I-N.
You called him Kevin.
Yeah.
So Kevin,
Nice.
Jevan, Kevin.
Yeah. We were talking to you, all three of you at the same time. That was just
fucking have a clue what was
this
going
fucking
on.
fella didn't have a clue, did you?
Well, why would I? Because I actually thought you were the geezer from Africa.
I mean, for a long time, I'd only ever met one other Jevan, and that was a guy called Jevan, and he was from South Africa.
So he wasn't called Jevan at all.
No.
Fucking hell.
So
that's actually a full. Yeah, that's a full. That's a not shortened or a nickname.
Where's your name
No,
from?
It's anglicised Welsh, so it supposedly means gift of Jehovah, or Jehovah has favoured. My parents are quite religious, so I was a miracle child. Essentially, they were told they couldn't have kids, and then after
By
trying
Jesus, or
yeah,
no, or just they were told medically that they couldn't have kids.
they were told medically they couldn't, so they went and they asked Jesus really nicely, and Jesus was like, "Here you go."
No, it's just because I'm not being.
That was one of your goading questions.
I'm not being disrespectful.
No, you weren't. You actually weren't.
It's just, there are. So, are you Jehovah Witness as well, or is
No, nothing to do with Jehovah's Witness.
No,
just Jehovah. And Jehovah means God. That's about it.
Oh God, I didn't even know that. Jesus.
Neither did I.
Nor did I until I found out what my name meant.
Well, yeah, because when you said that, I automatically thought that your parents were Jehovah's Witness, and I wasn't sure what the rules and regs were on having
Jehovah in your name.
or having children. That's why when you said we didn't think we'd be able to have children, I thought that was like
how would Jehovah's Witnesses like?
Breathe.
It would have stopped like years ago, wouldn't it?
Well, I know, but
They take on other people's children and keep it going.
Yeah, shut up, you're late on. You haven't got any skin in the game. Shut up.
So yeah.
Anyway, so
how do you know Jevan?
Well, I don't. To be completely honest, I was drunk one night, and he's as tall as me, and
Are you actually tall? You don't look that tall.
I'm quite tall. Yeah, I mean, I'm sat down at the moment.
Oh, right.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah.
Like, there's just a fucking huge door at the background. He's actually stood up.
Yeah, it's like a 12-foot door. It's the entry into bloody heaven.
Yeah, so when we went to Exeter for
Jevan rhymes with heaven, kind of as well.
That's what his girlfriend says.
Is that on purpose as well?
Maybe. I mean, I think it's anglicised Welsh, so it's.
So
it's
I know
Evan,
you're saying that again, but I don't understand what it means.
English added to Welsh.
Right. Okay.
But I can't say Welsh in Welsh.
Welsh.
Anglicised Welsh.
That is crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm back to you. Sorry.
I always find stuff like that quite interesting when names come from.
Well, I do. It's just a very posh way of saying, isn't it? You know, it's anglicised Welsh.
I thought you were going to say it's a posh way of saying Jason.
Well, but it's a good name.
Something like that.
I don't know anyone else called Jevan.
No.
That's a good name. It's a good sound name.
I've met 3 of them this year.
Have you?
Yeah, which is a real brought me back down to earth, you know, like you go around the whole life and I was like, that's such an interesting name. And then, I've just got some friends here at this hostel and their old catering manager was called Jevan. So I come in,
I thought you were going to say there was like fucking 3 Jevans at the hostel. It's like a fucking
That would be
annual
wild.
convention of Jevons, like all in one place.
I went to meet a friend in Barcelona, and we got to a bar, and I sat at the table, and there was 2 other Jevons also at the table.
Fuck off!
I was just there, like, I'm just gonna go. Like, there's no point in me being here.
Did you ask
like,
them where their name was from?
One of them wasn't so sure. Well, one again was African, and the other one wasn't so sure. But he was from Ipswich. So
That's crazy, Jules. So my good mate Jules went out one night. Obviously his name's Julian, and there's very few. You don't very often meet Julians. There was 2 other Julians out of 5 of them. So it's 3 out of 5 people were Julian.
That's crazy.
what are the odds on that?
Yeah, that is weird. Isn't it? Anyway, right, we're talking bollocks as usual.
I don't know anyone else called Steve.
Nice.
Shut up. So I was on night out for my birthday in Exeter, weren't we? And we were in that bar. It was a really nice bar with that band that were playing.
Oh, I was there. How did I not meet him?
Yeah, no, I recognised you, but I was sort of stood on my own by the bar. I just wanted to watch some live music, and then I was chatting to the other friend that you were with,
Julian.
Oh, was Julian, was it?
Oh, yeah, of course you met him.
Julian.
That's Jules,
And
yeah.
he's like,
The black
you look really comfortable here, don't you? Like, you look like, do you work here? And I was like, no, I'm just leaning up against the
Jules,
bar.
isn't it, trying to chat you up at the bar. You look comfortable here.
It's classic Jules.
You know, isn't it?
And then he's like, what do you do? What do you do for work? And I was like, oh, I'm a chef, private chef. And he's like, no way, you need to speak to my friend. He's a private chef.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, he introduced us both, and then we got chatting towards the end of the night. I can't remember exactly what we said.
Probably there's probably 90% shite. Probably. I'm sure you had already gone. You didn't, because you would. No, you were there. You were there, but you had left when we went back in. We went outside for like 10 minutes.
Oh yeah, because we were going outside to go, and then but we actually left, and then they all went back in.
Yeah, so that might have been when I started, because it was right at the end of the night when we saw you.
Yeah.
Because I was stood at the bar. We were both at a bar, and it's like not very often you meet someone that's just tall. That's called Jevan. Yeah, that's tall.
Yeah.
So we
it's nice when you've got someone that you can just sort of stand there, see eye to eye, and just have a nice little relaxed
like
conversation.
that, rather than fucking your arcing back over.
Your neck's going.
Yeah, you're fucking talking to him, you fucking get a crick in your neck.
Yeah. And then every time you, they're like, "Oh, you're tall, aren't you?" You're like, "Yep."
Thanks. For a while. Yeah. So we basically got talking about cooking stuff, and then that was it. And then got talking about the pod, and you were like, "Oh, come on."
Oh.
Yeah.
And that's it. So that was back in about middle end of November.
Yeah. So you're a private chef, are you?
A private chef, yeah.
So where do you operate?
So operating out of Dawlish, mostly for most of the winter, and then towards the tail end of the winter, I tend to go out to the Alps and then cook in a couple of chalets out there. And then this summer, it's all changing up a little bit. I'm looking at doing crew catering with festivals.
Oh wow,
that'll be cool.
So I want to do the festival circuit, but I know that you can work on your food truck and you can pay silly money to have a plot, and it all becomes money. Whereas if it's crew catering, everything's sorted, and you're just there for a good time.
How did you get into it then?
So my mum's a chef. Mm-hmm. So I started off, she enlisted me as a pot wash when I was about 12, 13.
Enlisted me. You had no fucking option.
Description, there's no payment. It's just, you've been kicked out or you can come and wash the dishes.
Yeah, it's fair.
So I did that for, a good few years till I was 16. And then I got a job with one of her school friends who was starting a pizza truck.
Nice.
And I worked on the pizzas. But then this is all up in Northampton. And then when I was 17, my girlfriend moved down to Loo in South Cornwall. Mm-hmm. So I moved down there, went round, handed all my CVs out. And this pizza restaurant hired me because it was like middle of the summer. And then, the rest is sort of history. That was I was just into chefing then. That's always where my money's come from. I did a engineering degree at Exeter because I was really need to impress my dad and get a real job and crack on with life that way. And then at the tail end of that, my friends were starting a business in Polzeth, selling tacos on the beach. So I went and worked with them for 2 summers. We then they then bought a restaurant in Exeter, so then went up and worked in Exeter.
That rings a bell.
What?
I've come across that somewhere. The tacos on the beach thing.
Yeah, this Taco Boys.
Unless it was you, but I'm sure I've come across. They're fairly well known online, sort of quite.
We did really well on like Instagram and sort of the marketing. Felix was the head chef. He was very much. He learned the algorithms. He learned when to post, what to post, and we sort of built up a good following. And then we went on Simon Reeves' Cornwall TV show, which then obviously just
catapulted.
Catapulted. But
so
now
what was it? Just tacos in a hut on the beach.
Pretty much, yeah. Tacos out of a horse box on a beach, but we were the only people with a license for that beach. So
it was just license to print money, basically.
More or less, yeah. Especially the second lockdown summer, when everything just opened up again. Oof. No, sorry, the first lockdown summer when Cornwall just went crazy.
So I thought you were going to say that when we were locked down, I was like, surely it was quiet then. But no, when you come out.
Yeah.
We all snuck down. We all snuck down to Cornwall whilst everyone was locked down to set everything up.
I think we were zone 5 anyway. We were fine, weren't we?
Yeah.
Oh, you weren't allowed to cross zones though, were you?
No. See, that's the thing. We came down slightly early when Boris said, if you don't have to go to work, don't go to work. We were like, well, we have to go to work, so we're going to go to work.
Yeah.
Sort of, yeah.
But you could have just had a party. It would have been fine as well, I think.
Yeah.
So, that must have been a crazy-ass summer.
That was pretty wild, yeah.
That was busy, absolutely.
I think it was the first Saturday. We sold out everything before like 1:30 in the afternoon. And
that's really annoying.
Yeah, we were planning to be open for dinner, but that was almost like max capacity.
Bad.
So then the next day it was like, well, we've sold out all of today's preps. Then we sent in the day after's prep. That all got sold out. So then they're like, well, we now have no food for tomorrow and everything's really messy. So we took a day, we closed down and we had a rethink. And because we were busy enough, we were just able to just do a lunch service. We didn't need to do a dinner service.
Wow.
That's incredible.
That is amazing. Were they good tacos as well?
Oh, really? Yeah, really good tacos.
And are they not doing it anymore, I'm guessing, or?
They do occasionally. So they've got a restaurant next to now called Stage.
Should check
definitely.
That out.
Yeah, if you want to come along, I'd be cool to go to dinner with you. Go to dinner with you guys.
Good work for that. Yeah,
we should get something in the diary.
Yeah.
Obviously, Jevan won't turn up, but
turn up half an hour late. But fuck can we do about that?
That pizza. Did you say you worked at a pizza restaurant in Lou?
Yeah.
Was it La Bocca? Oh no.
It used to. It's La Bocca now, I think, right on the beach.
That's
the big glass fronted kitchen.
That's it.
It's La Bocca's from Bude.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, the owner lives in Bude. Yeah, well, we've got a La Bocca. I think it's just two, and they're Lou and Bude.
Well, La Bocca Bude, and the other one's La Bocca Lou. Yeah, there's only two.
Thanks, fucking hell, Steve. Why are you fucking being a knob?
That's. I just think he looks a bit like Harv, doesn't he? Don't you think?
He does actually. Yeah, if Harv grew his hair out, he's like Jevan's like. Just play along. Harv's my son.
Yeah, nice. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. And it would make sense because he's like 12 foot as well.
Yeah, true. How old are you? 27, 6?
Yeah, 27 exactly. 27.
Good effort. Jesus. Good effort.
So
Always
you mentioned your girlfriend. She obviously. Are you still with her?
Yes. Yeah.
That's crazy. She must be getting married soon, no?
Yeah, it's been a whole 8 months now. So I think that's next on the cards.
But you've been together 8 months?
Sorry, different girlfriend.
Oh yeah, I thought that was like nearly 10 years.
No, that would be wild, wouldn't it?
Christ, he's motored through plenty since then. His fucking face.
Yeah, not quite, but yeah.
You look comfortable here.
Yeah,
that's what he's doing down at the bar.
Yeah. So we, when I spoke to you about the podcast, you were like properly up for coming on, and people aren't always. Yeah. We've had people sort of say, "Oh, I'll be up for that," and then you get in contact with send them dates.
Like Rory Bremner.
Yeah.
Rory Bremner for one.
Rory
Yeah,
Bremner
that's true.
was
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
I mean, Jevan probably be like, "Who the fuck's Rory Bremner?"
Yeah.
But
Cool name.
he's famous.
Okay.
Famous 90s comedian was coming on. They decided last minute not to. But
He
anyway,
was just having a joke.
Yeah, maybe he's having a joke. And yeah, people usually send them dates, and then they'll say, "I'll get back to you." You never hear anything.
Yeah.
So it was nice that you actually would showed interest, and we spoke. And so, what have you got? Have you had experience of struggling at all with mental health, or what made you want to come on and chat specifically?
I mean, I think it's when we were in the pub, we just we got onto the topic pretty quickly, which I find that when I'm with like-minded people, you can sort of, I guess trauma dump's a bit strong, but you can almost sort of let on that like it's not all sunshine and rainbows.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much where we were getting to in the pub, and and that's when you said, "Oh, I've actually got a podcast. It'd be cool if you could sort of come and talk about these sort of things," because it's kind of what you get to at the end of the day, especially with the world the way it is.
Yeah.
It's hard to stay above water a lot of the time.
Totally.
It's a great analogy.
Just got to ask you a really quick question. Sorry, just before you go back to Dave. Sorry, I can't work out if you've got in the background.
Oh, yeah, it's good.
If it's can't work out if it's hang on. I can't work out if it's a cat. If it's like if
his girlfriend.
If you've got like Japanese porn on in the background. Or...
I'm going Japanese German porn.
What is it?
It's a lamb downstairs.
Oh, well, that was my third option.
Fuck off! Is it a lamb?
You making lamb stew?
So
the bugger's in the pot. The bugger's half in the pot. Like it's trying to.
I think it's only 2.5 weeks old.
Is it staying at the hostel?
Kind of, yeah. So my girlfriend works at the hostel, and one of her colleagues she's been moonlighting doing lambing over in a farm in Newquay.
Right.
And this lamb came out it was blind and deaf.
Oh.
Or seemingly blind and deaf anyway. So
it's going to say, how do you know? It might just be arrogant.
Yeah, I think it was actually. That's what it seems to be the case. So she brought it home to look after it, and Chris and Ree, whose house they've really kindly let me use their house because the hostel is full of school kids at the moment. So I didn't want to sit in the corner and and do this there. But they've adopted it, and they're regretting it because the farmer said they'll take it back at 8 weeks, and it's currently 2.5.
Oh wow!
So they've got a bit of time, and you can't train a lamb quite like you can train a dog,
especially if it's blind and deaf.
Yeah, it's not actually blind and deaf. It seems to be able to follow the dog around.
Follow the dog around.
Just basically a master manipulator.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much.
Right, sorry, Dave. Go after you. Sorry, you go. You carry on.
What was I asking? What was I
you were talking to Jevan about his mental health.
Oh yeah. So we were just saying about what we were talking about, basically.
Yeah.
You were saying about just being above water, which is a great analogy.
Yeah. Which is, I think, for me, like I'm quite lucky. Like I'm an only child. I've got two wonderful parents who they've been married 30 odd years. They'd do anything for me, and it's great. And so I think a lot of my life I've always felt, well, I can't complain about anything. Nothing can go wrong. Like everything's great. Everything's fine. I've got my safety net. So then in the same breath, sometimes things don't necessarily go so well for me, and I do find myself in a bit of a worse off place, and you've got to find ways to sort yourself out or have people that you can talk to so you can let it all out. And I'm lucky I've got a good friendship group that if I did go to like a majority of them, if I said this is happening, they'd be like, okay, cool, well, have you thought about it like this? Have you thought about it like this? So one of my best friends, Robbie, he's one of the taco boys. He's working at the restaurant in Exeter. He runs the front of house there. We've been friends since 2015. Is that coming at 10 years this year?
Yeah.
And part of the reason we got on so well is like he's very, very down to earth, but he's also very empathetic. So he can see, oh, you're not feeling so great today. What's up? Or like just little ways to like break it down and be like, are you okay? Do you want to talk about something? And then it's completely up to you. You don't feel forced to, but just knowing that's there a lot of the time, it really makes a difference.
That's good to have mates like that around you.
Exactly. And then on the other side, it's like, okay, cool. I'm doing all right myself. How can I help other people? Like, what what can I provide?
Yeah.
How can I be there? Try to be like that for my friends. When I was at university, I was like vice captain and then captain of the rugby club that I played for. And one of the biggest things that I tried to do was like open up the talk about like men's mental health, because it's an all men's club, and we go out we play rugby on a Wednesday, and then we go to the pub afterwards, and then some of us will go out on a Thursday, and then Friday night you'd have the pre-match social, then Saturday you'd play rugby, and then you'd have beers afterwards, and then Saturday night you'd be drinking beers, and then Sunday if you'd be down the pub, you know. And it's so easy for people to hide away in that and just like they've got pretty severe alcoholism, but at the same time it's fine, they're out with the boys, they're having a great time, and then
numbs it,
it's just
doesn't it?
it numbs it a lot. And there's like, you can really see some people are just not okay, and they are underwater, but without having seen that yourself and like felt it yourself, you can't really you can't be aware of it all the time. But then if you are aware of it, you can open the conversation, you can invite them to things that don't involve drinking, or like you can make dinner, like anything like that.
You seem pretty level-headed. You seem...
Well, I mean, he doesn't, actually, because he's laying sideways. But I actually thought he was on a sinking ship for a moment. It does look like a cabin of a ship.
It does look like a cabin, yeah.
Kevin.
Yeah, it is a bit.
Jevan on the cabin. What, just a quick... He's like, why the fuck have I come on here with these two pricks? What... We'll come back to this in a minute. I just want to cover about the hostel. What is it? Where are you? What is it you're up to?
So I am at it's Trianon Bay in Cornwall.
Oh, I love it down Trianon Bay.
Yeah, so it's that's
man, I love it. It's lovely down there.
Never been there.
Yeah, honestly, it's stunning.
Yeah.
I'd really recommend it. I've got friends. So I've got friends that live in Cornwall from like the Tackle Boys days. Made a good group of friends, and some of them live in St Merrin, and then like St Merrin's linked to Trianon, like it's quite close.
Yeah.
So one of my friends, Morgan, he used to swim here all the time, and he made friends with Erin, who's now my girlfriend, and he'd bring me here just to go for a swim in the sea pool and sort of chill out. You have a drink afterwards, and then that's where I met Erin, and then it's sort of slowly become like I'm spending more and more time here because it's so beautiful. And also Erin's here
because Erin's there as well.
Erin's here as well,
yeah.
So Erin, that's a proper Cornish name, isn't it?
Irish.
Yeah, that's what I meant, Irish.
Yeah,
but you're saying all these like
similar, isn't it?
It's my mate Erin and Trerin and Perth. They're all like proper Cornish.
So Celtic.
I don't know. I mean, I'm from Kent, so
I'm from Northampton. I can't pretend.
Yeah, no, it's just. Do you feel welcome down here though when you're down here, or do they treat you like a piece of shit?
It depends how Cornish the people are. I mean, the main manager at the hostel here is from New Zealand, so he can't exactly tell me that I'm an Emmet. But then you can go to some places. But I mean, for the most part, the Cornish people are lovely.
No, they are for the most. I think it's the.
I'm Cornish, and they can't. It's a really good point, well made, when Jevan said depends how Cornish they are.
Yeah.
Or how long they've been away, because it does. Some people you get just absolute dicks.
I try and understand because you do.
But you don't like it at all, do you? You get your arse out.
If you're like, you've lived in a place for fucking ever, and then you get all these kind of people come down. And they want to change stuff, they want to
bilingual names,
and all that kind of stuff, like all the Jehovah's Witnesses and stuff like that coming down. But they just don't. They don't want to change, because we do that as a race, don't we? Like, we're like, oh, do you know what? That place is fucking lovely. Let's go and move down there. But hold on a minute, it's not quite like it was at home. So let's make it like, oh shit, it doesn't look like it did now.
Yeah.
So that does happen.
I remember I used to work in Padstow, and I'm going back.
Is that when you did Rick Stein's Fish and Chips?
No, I didn't do Rick Stein's Fish and Chips.
Sorry, I thought you said you did work experience.
So it's 22 years ago. Fuck me, you're only 5. So 22 years ago. 20 it was 22 years ago. It was half 22. And people would be like the proper yokels, proper. I was going to use a word that I might get in trouble for that. I'll say it afterwards. They'd be like, oh, Rick Stein's ruined this town. He's ruined Cornwall. Oh, he should go back to where he came from. You're like, whether you like Rick Stein or not, it's completely irrelevant. But the amount of money and attention and what he's brought into the area is completely can't be challenged. I don't think.
No.
Yeah. It's completely changed the face of Padstow. Brought in, and yeah, you can have an opinion about it, but at the end of the day, it's only been done for a good thing, and it's improved rock. Yeah. Then you've got Port Isaac.
Oh, Padstow's a beautiful place. Yeah. I mean, the whole of Cornwall's beautiful. To be fair, and I think as soon as you get like as south as Port Isaac, it's like proper Cornwall, then, isn't it? Like proper Cornwall.
As south as Port Isaac.
Yeah.
You do know it goes on a little bit further than that.
No. I mean, that's like kind of north, like the north. Okay, let me rephrase. North of Port Isaac. It's kind of like, feels a bit like Devon, I feel.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, the north coast, yeah.
But when you come kind of, even I'd say maybe as north as Crackington Haven,
You're a real sort of a fountain of knowledge when it comes to cliffs and seas and how they look, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, fucking David Bellamy here.
Yeah.
Just Google David Bellamy after.
Yeah. No, definitely. So, just going back to your kind of mental health and stuff like that. So, I mean, obviously, you grew up then. Like, don't know if I'm getting this right. Were you a teenager during? No, you wasn't a teenager during lockdown, were you?
No. So, the lockdown was sort of that was after.
He's fucking 20. Your maths is fucking shit.
Oh no.
I think I was 21 when the lockdown came in.
Yeah.
So that was my first time getting over to the Alps. Went over with Robbie. We ran a chalet together. We got paid. I mean, when you first go over on a ski season or anything like that, you don't really get paid much.
You don't need to, I guess, do
you? You to an extent, no, but at the same time, it's still kind of nice when you're spending more than you're earning just to like live, just to be there. If you know what I mean.
Yeah. That's crap, isn't it?
£350 a month.
Yeah, but you don't have to pay for food or accommodation, do you?
Accommodation was already paid for. Food, you could have some stuff from the chalet, but the budgets were so tight that it's like, if you start trying to feed yourself, it doesn't really work.
I spoke to, sorry, just to jump in, I cooked for a family, and this couple that must have been late 50s, about 3 or 4 years ago when they did 2 seasons, and they said the budgets they had were just so shit. In the end, they refused to spend that small of an amount of money. It's not very good English. Basically, use some of their own money because they had a bit of money. It's because they wanted to feed the guests better because the food they said was so poor because they weren't given enough of a budget.
Incredible, because it's not cheap to stay at one of these chalets, is it?
No, a lot of them it's not. But then there's the difference. Like there's the cheaper chalets. They're still really expensive, but then the budget just gets lost in the rent of the chalet, the like paying for staff, and accommodation. I think most of it goes into property, like renting out places to cook, to look after people, and also to look after your staff. But
what budget did you have per day? Like
it wasn't. We weren't told the budget. It was more like we'd have a spreadsheet and we'd go through, mark out what we needed, and they'd send it back and say, "We think this is too much. You can't have that." So we weren't even like told.
What sort of dickhead way is that to run?
That's a shit game, isn't it?
I know. I mean, they're no longer in business, which is...
What you are then?
That's not
probably something to do with COVID as well, which is a shame. But I think it was. They were very much take all of the uni graduates or like people fresh out of school, because then they're just there for a good time, and then if you have enough of them and you don't pay them, then you'll be able to get the job done. But
that sounds mad, doesn't it?
It was a good experience, though, I imagine, was it?
It was a good experience, but then we got sent home. I think it was the March, end of February, start of March, when COVID started to come in. So we all got sent home in a mad rush. So I went from like being in the mountains, having a great time, to like being back at home with my parents at 21, and I'd just done a few years at uni, found my feet, lived in Cornwall. And it's
not
like,
ideal.
Oh shit!
And
Did you? So you knew Robbie before? So was Taco Boys going before that?
No, so that was the
David.
first summer. We did the first summer at Taco Boys. and then we went and did a ski season in the winter.
Right. Ah, gotcha. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And then everything got locked down. We went home. We were all at home in our respective places. I got a job at Asda. I thought it was a driving job, so I was like, "Sweet, I want to be driving around the Asda vans. That looks like great fun." And then I turn up to my first shift at 2 a.m, and I'm in the Asda warehouse, just like stacking the shelves. And I'm like, "This isn't
paid the bills, I bet, didn't it?" And
it did. It paid some bills, yeah.
do you know, I had a job at Asda once. I'd never started it though. It's similar, weird actually, similar situation. Like I thought I was going to be doing one job. It wasn't like a van, but I think it was like on a checkout or something like that.
You can imagine you in your little uniform.
No, it's not even. I know.
All right then, love. Beep.
It's you now. When I'm going to tell you this, you're going to be all over the fucking floor. And basically, they wanted me to work on the patisserie counter.
So, oh wow!
Yeah, it's like
eating the fucking patisserie,
like filling all the cakes,
cream pie.
Yeah. And I was just like, do you know what? That's
Christ,
not
you got
for
fucking
me.
sacked. We know what for.
That's not fun, to be fair. Of all the places,
no, it's not. It's not for me. Supermarkets aren't what they used to be, are they? Like, do you remember like when supermarkets went through this phase of having fucking, they've got the cafe in there, and then they'd have a fucking pizza station.
They still still got that
fucking salad.
Some of them do, but yeah, I think it's the when you put super in front of everything, it sort of makes it a bit questionable.
Yeah, okay.
They're just a bit big.
Super chef.
Yeah, supermarket.
So how did you get into private chefing then? So you basically, because I'm just thinking this episode could be Asda to private chef. Like, how did that happen?
So I guess I went from chefing with my mum, and she used to do anything.
I know, but that's not as
dinner.
exciting, is it? That's not as exciting as that's not as like provocative as saying Asda to private chef. Like, come on, we're a tabloid outfit here. You know what I mean? Sorry.
So after leaving Asda, I moved down to do Taco Boys. I was prep chef there, and it's like high numbers. And Felix, who's the head chef, he was working at the Enodoc in Rock, or the Enodoc Hotel.
You know that, yeah.
So it's sort of, he's on a high level. He's sort of aiming everything to be sort of Michelin-esque, sort of attention to detail in all aspects. So then, when you're doing 400 or 500 tacos a service, there's quite a lot of prep that goes into that. And then when we got the restaurant up in Exeter, it was like I went on pastry there, and you're just picking up stuff all over the place, from just being in the kitchen. And like there'd be some days, I can remember my birthday week in the year that I was there. One of the chefs got COVID, and the KP was also ill, so it was just the two of us in, and we're running like 6-course tasting menus, just the two of us.
Oh wow!
And at that point, it's like, oh, okay, cool. So maybe I can do something like this. You know, maybe this is a viable career. Because at the time, it was still, I need to do something with my engineering degree because I'm going to be an engineer. Like that's how this is going to work. I need a real job in the real world. And now I'm hanging out with lambs. You know.
Yeah, I was not hanging out of lambs, but that's, you know. But no, fucking hell. So that's crazy. And so are you? So that's what you're doing now, like private chefing.
Yeah. So the private chefing. So I left that restaurant, and I'd agreed to leave, and then Felix got a message from a guy that he'd worked for in the Alps, and he said, "This guy needs a chef. Do you want to go and like work out there?" It's like cooking for up to 12 people, breakfast, afternoon tea, then 4 to 5 course dinner.
Oh, nice.
So I went and did that for just over 2 months. And was like, okay, cool, like I can do this.
Yeah.
And then came back from that and found another job. Felix again put me in touch with a guy in Devon, in Dawlish, who's got his own kitchen garden, he's got his own cows, got his own sheep, and I've just been working with him to fill in the interim when I'm not skiing.
Sounds lush, doesn't it?
See, I want to do something like that. I mean, you never put me in touch with people like this.
Yeah.
What, so you can be the fucking chef?
Yeah.
You would eat all the fucking food.
I want to do it. I make a mean fucking like cheese sandwich and shit like that. I'll be well.
I think they'll be bored of cheese sandwich for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
There's a toasty truck on Trianon Beach. You could maybe go for a job there.
There we go. Sorted.
Yeah, I'll put a word in.
Yeah, no, so no one ever fucking recommends me.
Well, I recommend you for marketing.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Just the cooking's not like it's lacking.
I'm going to be making focaccia in the next couple of days, Jevan.
Nice.
Have you got any tips you could give me?
Any tips? I mean, the best. One of my friends is a chef. There's Jules. You know Jules Cooking? You might know him, Dave. His
name rings a bell.
That means he
does.
No, it does. Are
you familiar with Grindr? It's sort of it's almost like a social media
Grindr.
Yeah, almost.
Almost.
Grindr, no, but
for ugly
Jules
gays.
Cooking.
Yeah, so he's massive on there. And one of my friends pointed his focaccia recipe my way, and it's just everything into the bowl, like whatever your recipe is, put it into the bowl, mix it for a minute, so it still looks. It is not even a dough formed. It looks a bit messy, but the yeast is sort of starting to get like wet and starting to go through, and then mix it until it's a nice dough. Leave it 3 hours, 4 hours, and then put it into a tray, poke it out, and wait for that to rise. Then super hot oven to start with, really oily top.
Poke it out. It's the first time I think I've ever heard anybody talking about focaccia.
I'm going to give it a go because
poke it out. But no. Do you want to explain what you said to me earlier on that you were going to do? The part about I'm going to make focaccia, but I'm going to leave the yeast out. It's a fucking hell, dude. That's like part of it.
If you leave it for a week or so, you might make a sourdough.
True, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really eat focaccia, but I just thought it looks well. I started following this young lady on TikTok. I think it's called Lucy.
Yeah.
I'll tag her in the comments for all the hundreds of people that will be wanting to go onto her TikTok and see what's going on. She makes all kinds of fucking focaccia, dude. You know, like the holes that you do. She fills them fuckers with jam.
That's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah. So she does a sweet version.
Are you making this shit up? Because I know what you like sometimes.
I'll show you off. She fills. Go on.
I've seen one where you put it in with a few of the tinfoil tart cases, and then you end up with holes in the focaccia, and then when you flip it out, you can then put a baked cheese in there or something, and then you've got like a terry sherry kind of.
That sounds nice, doesn't it? Yeah. Good idea for a video.
Did you tell Jevan what you made the other day?
Yeah, you've got a similar recipe. I saw that on your Instagram.
Yeah, which one was that I made? What was I making?
Terre camembert garlic bread.
That fucking great lump of bread with the fucking that was lush.
But you made something crazy.
Are you on about?
I am on about.
I'll tell you more about it afterwards.
Oh, we can tell it now.
I can tell you. I'll tell you about. Yeah, but Oh, that's true actually.
Yeah.
So I was starting up a part of my push on social media. I'm going to be doing. Would you eat this? And I make I make just random stuff up. So I made a cheese and onion ice cream.
Oh, okay.
And I know I was a bit like that. And actually, I tried it.
I'm not going to promise that I'd like it.
And the
annoying thing though, Jevan, is when we spent time sitting down and planning, these kind of things that we were going to do. We actually said, let's do salt and vinegar ice cream.
Okay.
I misunderstood what he said. It's his speech impediment when he's been drinking too much.
Yeah, it was really cheesy and oniony. Why was that then, dude? Because it's meant to be fucking salt and vinegar.
No, but actually, a cheese and onion had there's more of a video to it.
You'll see crisps as well. It was meant to be crisps, not actual cheese and onion.
Oh, you're meant to put crisps into the ice cream?
Yeah. That was the whole idea.
Who fucking said that?
I did.
Right, okay. You actually said, right, when
You're
you make
like my friend Sefrin when I was growing up. Honestly, but the opposite.
What are you talking about? We've never had a conversation
I used to have a friend.
at all, you massive bellend,
I used to have a
where
friend.
You said you've got to put salt and vinegar crisps in it.
Of course it's salt and vinegar crisps, dude. It's not just fucking... It's meant to be weird food, not like...
Oh, so if you just put salt and vinegar in it, it would be fine. It would be edible.
Yeah. Well,
what? You think crisps?
Balsamic vinegar and
you fucking go! Stop getting your dick out.
I used to have a friend called Sefrin. Used to live on near me, obviously. One I remember
he's falling asleep.
His friend, his family were quite well to do. You know, they'd have brown bread and, you know, like proper tea. They had like painted stairs and stuff like that. You know, I just lived in a fucking basic council house. And I remember we said we were going to do a picnic. And I said, well, I'll do the sandwiches. And I said, I was like, I'll do cheese and onion sandwiches. And we went outside and we sat on this bit of grass by my house. And he was like, oh, right, I didn't realise you meant cheese and onion crisp sandwiches. Because he was really posh. So he thought that we were going to have
a nice bit of cheddar.
Nice bit of cheddar and some
red onion.
Like fucking pickle and everything.
You just jammed.
But two slices of the really fucking
butter in there.
Yeah, well, it's probably Marge. We used to buy those 2-kilo blocks, thin bread. You know, when it was like 8p, fucking straight on, crisps down. Then I probably did rectangles. I've got a bit better now, and I do mini triangles, and then you can stand them up on their end. A bit of garnish.
We do that at home for yourself.
Oh yeah,
of course.
Every day of the week.
Cress.
Cress. You don't have cress with cheese and onion crisp sandwiches.
No, it's a garnish.
You ever had a crisp sandwich?
Yes.
What flavour?
You name it. I've had all of them.
You've had one of the lesser known flavours. You know, like purple Walkers. You don't see them anywhere.
Worcester,
yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good crisp.
Lime green.
Lime green.
Yeah.
I've got no idea.
Spring onion.
I'm really boring with crisps.
Oh, you're boring.
I like ready salted crisps, or I like salt and pepper crisps. That's about it.
Salt and pepper's
really?
Not boring, dude. That's upper class salt and pepper.
My girlfriend loves crisp, and her favourite crisp is Walker's ready salted. She fucking loves that shit, doesn't she, Farley?
Yeah, I did have. There was a conversation I had the other day, or I overheard, or maybe was listening on the radio, so I didn't overhear at all. But and they said, "Why is it called ready salted?" Do you know what I mean?
Because it's ready salted.
Yeah, but it should be already salted. Like someone obviously. Do you know what I mean? Shouldn't it? Because they're already salted.
Point. Already salted.
Yeah.
Imagine if you had to start calling them that already. Can I have some already salted, please?
Because that makes more sense.
That's
do you want
a
your
great
crisps?
point.
What do you want?
Just salted also works, doesn't it?
Yeah, or salted. Yeah.
Salted crisps.
Yeah.
But maybe people thought then that you meant all sorted crisps, and then people started getting a mixture. But no, but it should be already salted. Maybe that's where it comes from. And then they thought, no, it sounds silly. Let's call them already salted. And it just blew my mind. It's one of those little things that blew my mind, you know. Yeah. So sorry, Jevan. What's the plan moving forward? Because obviously you're down there now. You've got a blown up motor. What happened with that?
So tell us about the week. What's been going on? Or the week?
The day. So the week so far, I don't know how far back it goes, but I mean, supposedly it's going out.
Just basically yesterday.
Just 7 days.
Let's do 7 days rather than a calendar week.
Yeah.
Fucking Craig David over here. Go
on. I mean, we and Erin had a really nice time on Dartmoor. We went to the White Hart Hotel in Morton Hampstead.
Nice.
Had a lovely stay. Had a lovely Valentine's dinner. Went for a walk. Everything's lovely. Drove back. Saw my friend Robbie on Sunday. Went for another walk with he's got a little Romanian rescue dog who's really come out of his shell, and it's just nice to sort of actually see him running around and getting stuck in.
Sorry, just to interrupt you really, really quickly, and this is a serious question that I've always wanted to know. So, do you have to speak to it in Romanian?
Luckily, he was quite young when he came over, so they've been able to teach him English.
Okay, good.
No,
I've always wanted, because you know Dan O'Reilly, Dapper Laughs, he's got a Spanish dog, and he has to speak to it in Spanish because it's only ever grown up in Spain.
Yeah.
Like it's quite old.
It's just tone, isn't it?
No. Sorry.
A lot of it is tone, but then it's also similar words, I guess.
That's Dave's Spanish. Such a prick. Yes. We went to Benidorm, and
he's trying to explain about his fucking life here.
And I was sat in the front with Senor, and these three were in the back. These three, him and two others.
Yeah.
We're sat in the back.
Is there more people in this picture that I don't know
about? He's just in the back going. The geezer's talking to me, obviously, and they're going. Just in the back of the fucking.
Well, there's a bit of a long convoluted story about that. Fast Show. Have you ever seen the Fast Show back in the
80s?
No.
Actually, not.
No.
Sorry. Anyway,
No,
so
sorry.
you're good to meet matey with his Romanian dog.
Yeah, went for a nice walk. Everything's going tickety boo, and then I thought I'd drive down here, and I got to Launceston, and my car starts going. I can't even replicate the noise. Actually, there's a few noises coming from my car. There's a few things that need doing to it. One of which is the wheel bearing.
Yeah, go on.
Well, no, he's not got a flat tyre, dude.
It's like that, but a lot quicker. Yeah. That's the.
Okay.
That noise starts to happen, and I'm like, well, that's not good. And then it suddenly goes clunk, and my fifth gear is no longer working.
Oh shit! So you're down into fourth.
Pull it into fourth. Start driving. Noise continues, and then pull over. Ring my friend, who is my car guy. Like, James, this has happened. He's like, oh, okay, cool. Do you reckon you could still drive it? You've only got like 40 minutes left. And I'm like, I'd never even thought that. I was like, if something goes badly wrong, you just stop driving. And he's like, no, drive it down. Turned up. And then I've spent the majority of the last 2 days on Facebook Marketplace and eBay looking for a replacement gearbox, which I'm going to then have to put into it myself.
Oh, mate.
Because I can't afford to go to the garage.
Are you a mechanic by trade, or...?
I swapped the engine on it before, which could be part of the problem with the gearbox.
Engineer.
Exactly, yeah. I've got a bit of that sort of knowledge about it, but also I've got access to YouTube, and there's not a lot you can do, not a lot you can't do with YouTube.
Crazy now, isn't it?
I didn't even
think like your son earlier when he popped round and said he was going to put. He said because Dave wants to get his speakers put on the wall, and he's going to put all the when you put all the wires inside the wall. And, his son was like, "Oh, I can do that, no worries." "Oh, you done that before?" No, but I look on YouTube.
Yeah, just thread all the wiring down and cut a hole at the bottom.
I can't even fucking.
He's a chef.
Change an ink cartridge in a fountain pen. Like, that's crazy.
I was surprised when you asked me to do that recently. I was surprised you couldn't do that.
That is absolutely incredible. So you're not even going to care. You're just going to get up YouTube, type up, change gear stick, and just go through it.
Fair play. I couldn't imagine. I wouldn't even know what to even.
I think, I mean, when I did the engine before, last time the engine blew up on me in Switzerland, in the middle of the Alps, which
not ideal.
Is quite daunting actually. When the nearest big city is about an hour on a bus, and the bus costs 40 quid. But that's just how it is in Switzerland.
Is it pricey over there? Is it?
Yeah, so I got a quote for 14,000 to swap the engine. So I was like,
14,000.
Is it not better just to maybe get a new car?
Like literally all of my friends.
Yeah. Have you got something special? Has this car got memories, sentimental value?
Yeah, it's also my house. Like, I've been living in it for the last 3 years.
Okay, so what is it?
Caddy, a long wheelbase Caddy.
Right. Oh, okay. So fair enough. Yeah, it's not.
It's not an awful lot of space, but I'm in the process of putting in. Every time I've swapped, so I swapped the engine for a better engine, and I'm going to swap the gearbox for a stronger gearbox.
So soon you'll probably just have a new.
It
will be new.
Yeah, pretty much. At what point does it become a different car?
Yeah.
So do you live off grid then?
Yeah, more or less.
That's so cool. So you just travel around, like you can park up wherever you like.
More or less, as long as it's not on people's land and in public car parks. They don't like that too much.
You can back up, open the doors, like see the sunset. Cook a bit of bacon.
Yeah, exactly. Something like that.
Oh yeah,
that's nice.
But the main thing's just I'm never in the same place for long enough to warrant a year-round rent.
No.
And if I was to get a shorter-term rent, then it's just stupid money. And I don't want to have to work. I'd rather have time off and to be outside and be outdoors than feel like I have to use my house because I've spent X number on rent.
That's amazing. There was so much freedom, so beautiful, isn't it?
Did your girlfriend travel with you, come around with you?
So she actually also lives in a van.
So it's van love.
Yeah, van love. But she lives at the hostel full time at the moment.
Brilliant.
So she's parked up here.
Is she a chef?
No, she's front of house. So yeah,
meant to be.
Set up a little restaurant.
Yeah, something like that, or go around do private stuff together, like something along those lines. That was the plan for France. So we're going to go to France in 2 weeks in my broken van.
That sounds good. Yeah,
it's going to be great.
You're going to sort the gearbox before you go, though, right?
Yes, 100%. Yeah, we're driving to Bristol to buy a new one tomorrow morning.
In the van?
No, in
fucking hell, dude.
I mean, you know what? It might actually make it, but I don't want to risk it.
No.
So I've got so actually, it's a funny story. Really, we're definitely made for each other. So Erin's van engine has a problem, which if it drives for more than an hour and a half, it starts to cut out. But it's also got like a knocking noise, and we're trying to figure out where that's coming from. So I've got my car. So I've got a Golf as well, which I'd left at home up in Northampton. So we went and picked that up. Erin's been using that as her get around because her van's not working. So now, yeah, luckily I've got that. So I'm going to drive that to Bristol tomorrow.
Jesus.
That doesn't pack it in because that would just be like.
How big's the gearbox? Is that going to fit in a Golf?
Oh yeah,
fit in the boot. Yeah.
I couldn't even imagine. I thought I was going to say about half the size, sort of that chair, you know, half a foot by half a foot. Foot and a half by foot and a half. Foot and a half by foot and a half.
Right, fucking hell. I don't even know those kind of measurements.
Yeah, it's like that. Around that, yeah.
Jesus. Oh, it should be all right. And then you'll just bring it back and chuck it in, I guess, and it'll be good.
Yeah, chuck it in. Yeah, I should just sort of drag and drop. No
it's not a fucking computer. You're not like, you know.
Which it was.
With the mouse.
You don't know how to fucking drag and drop.
Yeah, fucking drag and drop.
You're still right-click. Copy. Aren't you? Fucking hell. That's amazing. And then, so you're going to do France, and then after that, I guess, it's just your whale's your lobster.
Yeah, see what happens, really. There's a few bits lined up for the summer at the moment, festival-wise, so hopefully get into that. But, yeah, I really don't know at the moment.
That's crazy. I heard an interesting question the other day, and we'll ask you a proper question in a minute, but an interesting question I heard. So can you name me 3 things that you love?
Yeah, probably, but there's definitely more than 3. But I feel like with the question, it's got to be your 3 favourite things.
Yeah, 3 favourite things. Yeah, all right. Yeah, it's all right. I ask the questions around here.
My 3 things that I love the most.
Yeah, that is the question.
Yeah, I guess. Well, I mean, it's pretty. I guess it's pretty cliche, but I guess it's true. But yeah, my parents and my family. I guess that can be one. My van is definitely like.
That's fine.
Okay, 3 then is it? And yeah.
What about yourself?
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, I do the other day.
Sometimes it's like
people never put it there. They never put it in the top.
That's a really good point.
Yeah, I thought about it, but I didn't want to say it because it's like it sounds pretty self-centered, I guess.
Yeah, it does. Sounds like you're fucking up your own arse with a big ego. But actually, it's not at all.
Me, myself, and I. They're my favourite.
Myself in the van. Yeah, no, but you got to love yourself, dude. I mean, and actually, like, do you know what? Obviously, never met you before. Obviously, I spoke to you when you were trotting around in the woods for a bit, but like, I just think it's absolutely fabulous. The way that you've kind of even the fact that you kind of like, right, I'm going to leave home, I'm going to fucking go round, hand out my CVs, get a job, keep going, a couple of birds on the go, down at the tacos, down on the beach, over to Switzerland, all this kind of stuff. Like, and it's just,
I didn't hear him say parts of that. I'll be completely honest.
Romanian
Yeah,
dogs.
he's
Like,
definitely
just,
paraphrasing a lot of it.
Yeah,
but just, and you're just, what a phenomenal life.
yeah.
And you still made time for friends, and you're still checking in with them and all that kind of stuff.
You sound pretty chill. You sound
for 26.
Yeah, you sound pretty good, as in like sort of pretty level. I reckon you'd like to hit it hard and have a good time, but also you're
100%.
conscious of the consequences of that and how it might affect your life.
Yeah, I'm also in the kind of position where, without sounding too crazy, like with everything going on, I don't see the world staying as it, like the status quo is definitely getting shuffled around. And I don't want to wait another 2 years to live my life, if you know what I mean. I could get like a well-paid job, work for 2 years, and then go and travel. But I feel like in 2 years, all the money that I've earned won't actually be worth much. / there won't be anywhere to travel. No. So it's like
it's going to get fucked up, isn't it?
Yeah, and do you know what? If money doesn't really mean anything. You don't ever get taught that. I didn't know that at 27. Well, when I was 27, I had a 5.
Is that when you had your meringue company?
2-year-old, just started up my manufacturing business.
Oh yeah,
you used to make meringues.
Yeah, we used to basically make puddings. Did that for 10 years, but the chefing was started up alongside it. That's been going nearly 18 years now.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, you don't ever get taught shit like that. You don't need too much money to live.
Yeah.
You don't need big houses and...
Yes, mate, I love it. Do you play any instruments, you and Erin?
Yeah, so Erin plays a bit of ukulele and she sings. She sings a lot better than I do. But I play the drums and I play a little bit of guitar here and there.
Can you see David's guitar there?
I got me Martin.
Oh, yeah.
So Dave's actually does a local Dean Martin tribute. I don't know where that came from.
I thought you were going to say like Lewis Capaldi lookalike or something.
But yeah.
No, I played guitar since I was about 12, and then didn't really get any better after about 18. Then lost my guitar in a house fire. Then my ex-wife bought me one when I was about 22, 23. So I had the same one for about at least 20 years. So it was back in October. I was like, I'm just going to buy a Martin. It'll just give me a bit of an impetus to start again. And I'm having lessons. I'm still at the same stage as I was
just
18.
Playing chords, basically.
Yeah, well, I sing a little. I do. You haven't heard me sing.
No, but I do. I heard one of your... You did let slip one of your favourite songs, didn't you? It's like, hey, hey, hey!
No, it's hey, hey, hey.
Is that...
No, I didn't go, hey, hey, hey!
Literally what I just said, wasn't it? Anyway,
that's cool. That is, playing the musical instruments, good.
Yeah,
it's relaxing.
Cool. And, it started up again last night. There's a jam night in St Mirren, which is the town here, and a couple of my friends run it. Like they're both incredible musicians. They'll sort of walk around, play everything better than most people in the room, but at the same time, it's like the inclusive space of like come along.
That's cool.
Play guitar, bash the drums. Like there's loads of percussion. Everyone get involved.
Wow.
I have to get down if he's hanging around for a couple of weeks, so I have to come down and see him. Go out for a coffee or something. Yeah. That'd be cool. You don't know Paul Ripley?
So I am. So he works at Plonkt in Weybridge.
I've no idea where he works currently.
You just name dropping.
So yeah, so my mate Freddie, he was working at Plonkt, and he's mentioned Paul Ripley. I think I followed him on Instagram because it was like, no, he's a big Cornish chef, and I was like, cool.
Yeah,
I'll see what he's up to.
He's a top bloke. He was Rick Stein's head chef back in the day when Rick Stein was in the kitchen for 10 years.
Nice.
Yeah, he's nice bloke. He was coming.
Is that what you're saying? We're going to go down there? Like, is that what you're saying? That?
No, I just said, do you know Paul Ripley? Geezer. They know him as.
I can't say I've met him, but I've definitely heard good things.
Yeah, he's top bloke. Anyway, do you want to do the
last question then? And you'll know this question because I know that you've watched all of our episodes. Everyone. What is your definition of love?
It's a tough one. I saw you guys asking this on the street, on the Exeter High Street the other day.
Yeah, we were looking for you.
I think it's doing what's kind over doing what's nice, but in all aspects. So it's not always nice. I mean, being nice is easy. You can be nice to everyone, but to truly be kind, I think, is a different thing. Because sometimes you're not always like, the nice thing to do is to say, oh, don't worry, you don't need to go to the gym today, or like, it doesn't matter what you eat, you can do whatever. But actually the kind thing to do is, like, whether this is with yourself or with other people, is to like give the honest advice and say, well, yeah, you can do that if you want to, and I appreciate that, but it's not actually going to help.
No.
That's a really good one.
That's a really good one, actually. I like that.
I guess, yeah, something
that's very thought-provoking.
It's kind, like, yeah, because it's like being straight talking. Sometimes people don't like the truth.
Yeah.
Do they? You know?
But I think that's definitely important than, just leading people on and being like, yeah, everything's great, everything's fine. You're awesome. There's absolutely nothing wrong with you.
Yeah. Actually, because, when people are arseholes, tell them.
Yeah, pretty much, and they will appreciate it one day and come back and say, "Oh,
you are an arsehole."
Ask your girlfriend later when you see her.
What her definition of love is?
Not if she's an arsehole. Ask her what her definition of love is.
Yeah, like what?
That would set the scene for fun.
Wouldn't it? Ask her.
Yeah, see if it's the same as yours.
Just right off the cuff. That'll absolutely floor her. It'll be interesting.
Yeah,
hey, babe.
Straight off a long shift. Just, what's your definition of love?
Yeah, she'll think you're on.
She'll be like, have you been smoking again?
Yeah,
it's crazy, absolute craziness. All right, look, appreciate your time, dude. Like, great meeting you.
Sorry for keeping you.
That's all right. It's not like we had anything else to do.
Yeah.
That's fine. And so you're going away in 2 weeks?
That is the plan. Yeah.
Oh, can we get down in 2 weeks?
We'll message and see if we can sort something out.
Yeah, it'd be good to get down and just have a. What is it? Do you not drink?
I can drink.
Yeah.
If that's
No, it's just that you said a coffee.
Yeah, well, you don't mind drinking and driving. I do.
Oh, yeah.
So that's
again. Yeah.
I fucking just shot him down. He feels like slapping me now.
Well, no, it's not that. No, because Dave won't even have he won't even let the sweet bitter ember touch his lips. But which is fine because you need to drive for your job. So I do understand.
Your face.
I'm fine with a couple of bottles of vodka. It's not a problem.
Rum, spice rum.
Yeah. Right. Thanks, dude, and thanks to the sheep and all that. And
good luck to the blind.
I'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, we'll drop you a message. Nice one. Thank you. It was really, really good to have you on.
Oh, it says Jev on there. Oh, that's pretty cool. So you shorten your name to Jev?
I shortened it, yeah.
Do you normally shorten it, or?
A lot of people can't pronounce it, so I just say Jev. And it's like,
Jevy?
okay, cool.
Jevy.
And they're like, hi, Jev. And I'm like, no.
Oh, Jeff. Oh, no. No, say Jeff. It's not Jeff.
Yeah,
love it.
But yeah, it's been going on forever. So I just sort of, if it starts with a J, I'll probably turn around and figure out the rest later.
Love it. All right, mate. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, mate.
Bye.
Cheers.
Bye.